Hey there guys, dinner time here. Welcome to the ultimate guide to Akali, Fist of Shadow. Today we're just going to be taking a look about how Akali works in team fights, how to gank with her, how to correctly build her skills, runes, and masteries. Let's dive right into Akali's skills. Akali's Q is Mark of the Assassin. This throws out a small dagger which marks a target with a debuff called Mark of the Assassin. When you strike this target again, you deal the magic damage again, plus your auto attack. So, in theory, this does scale with your attack damage and your ability power, which makes it a great ability to use with your first item, Hextech Gunblade. This is also great for farming minions at long range. Pre-level 6, Akali is extremely weak in lane, but this helps you long range, get those minions, and harass a little bit. It also is Akali's main source of damage late game. As you can see, most of the damage on Talon is from my Q. This works great in unison with your R. Q and then R, and it'll immediately land your Q second ability. Akali's Q also works amazingly with Sheen. Throwing the dagger will give you the Sheen buff, and landing the attack will deal the damage. Akali's Q is by far the best ability on her, so we want to be leveling this up first. Akali's W is Twilight Shroud. This throws down a little area of effect particle zone. Being in this zone will give you bonus armor, magic resist, and will grant you stealth for a short time. Moving you out of the zone will remove the armor, magic resist, and your stealth buff, so make sure you can stay inside it for the duration. Staying inside it and using an attack will remove you from stealth. However, you'll maintain your armor and magic resist buff, so putting this down is a great defensive move. It's also great for juking the enemy backwards and forwards, and excellent cover in team fights. If you're getting hammered or you just don't want to be seen in team fights, throw this down. You should be good to go. When leveling, I try and delay putting a point in this for as long as I possibly can, because I'd rather put those points in Q or E. However, if you're having trouble in lane, or you just can't get any minion kills, putting a point in this will give you some excellent lane control, because most people are just too scared to even walk in it. Akali's E is Crescent Slash. The main use for this ability is farming minions. Mid to late game, 2 Crescent Slashes on the cloth minions will instantly kill them. This is amazing for clearing out those waves quickly, and actually makes her a decent pusher as well. This can be used in combination with your R, Q, and W to successfully gank an enemy. As you can see, on Nocturne, it does a little bit of damage, but it's not amazing. Using this in a minion wave with Spell Vamp and Lifesteal will give you a decent amount of health back, so make sure you're spamming this in minion waves if you're low. Akali's ultimate is Shadow Dance. This is Akali's main gap closer, and she can use it 3 times in a fight usually. This works off a charge based system. You'll get 3 buffs on yourself called Essence of Shadow. When these are up, you can use the Shadow Dash for as many buffs as you have. Each Shadow Dash will consume one of these. They will regenerate slowly over time based on cooldown reduction. Akali's R is really the thing that makes her quote unquote overpowered, as most people just cannot escape from it. With the 3 dashes, she is very hard to escape from. She can do it over walls, and she's also extremely slippery in lane, allowing her to Shadow Dash to minions and other enemies, and really juke people very hard. This does a little bit of damage, but its main purpose is to just get you in range so that you can land your Q. Getting this ability will give you extremely powerful lane control. This is absolutely ridiculous the amount of lane control this gives you. Talk a little bit about Akali's combo. What you want to be doing when you're ganking or in team fights is throw your Q at the squishiest person you can see. Then, Shadow Dance to it, and land an auto attack. This usually takes a lot of health off them, so you should be sitting pretty. Then you want to be using Crescent Slash. This gives you amazing spell vamp if you're around a lot of enemies or minions. So this will pump your health up a bit. Then if you're in trouble, use that Twilight Shroud. That'll get you out of trouble quick. If you're not in trouble, then you can either wait for your Q to come back, this is what I normally do, or you can Shadow Dance if you're scared of them getting away. I usually always advise people to wait for their Q to come up, because that's the main source of your damage. The thing to remember about Akali's ultimate is if you get an assist or kill someone, you'll instantly get a free stack of Shadow Dance. So if you're chaining kills together, then you can just jump around the team fight and absolutely destroy everybody. The only thing holding Akali back is the amount of energy she uses, but landing your Q successfully and using the auto attack will give you a percentage of that energy back. Passive is Twin Disciplines. This is a very important part of Akali, so I'm going to try and explain this in detail. When Akali gets 20 ability power, her auto attacks deal 10% bonus magic damage, and for every 5 ability power after that, they deal 1% more bonus damage. This is amazing when you have a lot of ability power, because if you have 500 ability power, your attacks will deal 100% more damage. This is really good, so 500 ability power, 100% more damage, we'll welcome that any day. But this isn't the best part of her passive. When Akali gains 10 attack damage, she gets 10% spell vamp. Now, we're going to have to rune for this because you can't buy an amplifying tome and a longsword at the start, but that's not too hard. 10 attack damage isn't much, but 10% spell vamp, that is amazing. This will give you that early game sustain and you will just not be able to get out of lane. For every 5 attack damage after that, she gains 1% more. We won't be stacking attack damage for this, but this is still a great part of her passive nonetheless. Okay, so where's Akali going to go in laning? Well, Akali can top, mid, or bot. I think she belongs more in a solo lane because she really needs to last hit and have a lane all to herself. I hate competing with people for last hits on Akali because I think that she needs them a lot more than other champions. Also, she's a great solo laner because she really needs that XP to get to level 6 fast. To gank on Akali, you really need your ultimate, Shadow Dance. Without your gap closer, it's going to be very hard to land your Q. So, you want to be going in a solo lane. I prefer mid because I usually like going up against those squishies and be able to stomp them at level 6. But, be advised, if you go mid, you want to play very defensively until level 6. Akali's power comes with that gap closer. Without it, she only has a little Q and a W to survive in lane. Okay, for items on Akali, you're going to want to be picking up an amplifying tome and a health potion first. This activates the second part of your passive, and with your runes, you'll have both passives activated. Plus, you get that health potion, which will keep you in lane for that little bit longer. Next, I always pick up either Mercury Treads, or you can pick up Ninja Tabe, or you can pick up Sorcerer Shoes. I like to go with the defensive boots to keep me a little bit more slippery and help me get away. After that, you want to be picking up Hextech Gunblade. This item is absolutely amazing. With the 10% bonus from your spell vamp passive, and the extra from your passive, this will keep you in the lane forever. You will never have to go back. It also has lifesteal and that amazing active. The active is really great for Akali. It puts your burst up even more and gives you a slow. That's 300 extra damage, which you absolutely need, because bursting down targets is your main priority. The next item you want to be picking up on Akali is Ralai's Crystal Scepter. This will give you a little bit of utility, and combined with your Hextech Gunblade slow, you'll be slowing enemies too much for them to escape, so they will never be getting away from you. It also gives you that much needed health which you're going to need on Akali, and some extra ability power. The next item we're going to be picking up is definitely going to be Lich Bane. Lich Bane's an amazing item on Akali. Make sure to buy the Shin component of this first. When you cast your Q, you're going to do the magic damage, and when you strike, you're going to do the magic damage again, you're going to apply your ability power through the Lich Bane, and you're going to do your auto attack damage. With all this damage, it's going to be crazy. You're going to be half healthing people just with your Q. Also, on top of all that, it gives you a little bit of magic resist and a lot of ability power. The next item is very situational. If the enemy team are buying a lot of magic resist, then you're going to be wanting to be picking up Void Staff. But if they're absolute Fruit Loops and they're not buying magic resist to counter you, you're going to be wanting to be picking up Rabadon's Death Count. Rabadon is just a big hunk of ability power, which is great for Akali. Either way, you're going to be wanting to picking up both of these items, just which one goes first is dependent on your situation. Our last item is going to be a defensive one. You're either going to want a Zhonya's Hourglass, or you're going to be wanting a Guardian Angel. The Zhonya's Hourglass will be giving you another active to push, but if you're good at managing actives, then you're going to be getting this, because this will give you an immunity. After your Shroud runs out, you can just pop this and be immune. If you're not too keen on actives, then you're going to be wanting to pick up the Guardian Angel. When you die, you'll be resurrected and given a second chance to go melt some more face. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to be picking up for runes on Akali. When playing Akali, you always need to remember, for your runes you need 10 attack damage in your book at all times. The reason for this is to activate your 10% spell vamp bonus on your passive. Without this, you won't be able to successfully lane and you'll be having to go back a bunch more. Activating this is easy, just chuck attack damage reds and yellows into your book, then you're set. For blues, I pick up ability power. I pick up ability power because I like to have that extra edge early on and just have that little bit more damage on my abilities. Since all of Akali's build scale of ability power, this is great for her. For quintessences, I pick up health. I pick up health because I just love to have that little bit of extra durability and survivability early on in the game. For my masteries on Akali, I pick up 2163, picking up magic resist and armor in defense to keep me in the lane longer and survive generally in team fights. For utility, I pick up good hands, which makes me revive just that little bit quicker, 10% to be exact. And on offense, I pick up physical damage and ability power multipliers and my spell penetration and ignite masteries. Let's break a team fight down on Akali. Zin's coming into game Morgana. I Q R in, use my E, and land my Q. This does a ton of damage and he's almost dead. However, the enemy team comes in, so I'm going to Twilight Shroud. I'm not doing anything, but I did hit by a Dark Matter. That's the only thing that really hurts me. Everyone's low now, so I can go off picking people off. I use Hextech Gunblade and my Q and R to kill Vigar. My next target is going to be Trent, but I remember he hasn't popped his ultimate yet, so I decide to retreat. 1v3 is not a good idea on Akali. You want to be picking people off 1v1. Trent slowed me. I get grabbed by Blitz and I'm getting killed with the Caitlyn ult. I get ulted by Blitz. I'm almost dead. However, the only reason I survived is because I chucked my Q out and got some spell vamp from it. It also landed the kill on Blitzcrank. My team's going to clean Trent up easily. Akali's main job in teamfights is to pick off those squishies, so don't feel pressured to go in and just bash everybody up, because that's not your job. You want to be slowly picking people off. Using Twilight Shroud to wait until everyone's low is a great idea. It also scares and keeps the enemy on their toes and looking for you. A lot of the time in teamfights, Akali's saving grace is her passive and that spell vamp from Hextech Gunblade. You get very low, but even on low life, Akali can still do something in teamfights. Coming out of Twilight Shroud using a Q, R and E will almost always get you a quarter of your health back. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to see any other champion covered, make sure you drop me a comment on my channel. I'll try and get around to it as soon as I can.